and it is a choice made after careful thinking and weighing all the possibilities. And when you first make a mistake like that, you really make sure to really think things through. And yeah, I'm a eunuch, basically. Will be for the rest of my life, but I'm at higher risk of developing osteoporosis, problems with my bone density because of lack of sex hormones in my body. But I think I'll take that over the alternative any time of day.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah, really difficult choices. Yeah. Do you still suffer complications from the surgery?
Well, pains, like I said, I don't think those will ever go away at this point. There's discomfort whenever I use the toilet, and sometimes there's bleeding from the artificial cavity that was created there. Because the surgery I had was penile inversion with scrotal graft. So every once in a while, there's something there that opens and starts bleeding. The last time that sort of bleeding happened was in November last year, so approximately half a year ago. And that one actually scared me a little bit. I ended up at ER.
Have you had to get any revision surgeries?
No, but I think the only case where I would even consider doing anything like that is if my life was in danger. Otherwise, I want to steer as far away from surgery as possible, and I'm not willing to risk it. I think there's a chance that things could get even worse than they are. So like, I don't want to mess around with this,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not something you should be playing with, basically.
Yeah, and the time that you ended up in the ER, how did that resolve?
Well, it didn't really resolve anything. They just tried to figure out what was happening, but because I wasn't dilating for, almost 10 years now, it's not like they can access the inside of it and find out what is going on. They try to examining it on the outside. They try to insert the finger there. I hated that so much. First of all, the idea of being seen like that by the doctors and nurses there, absolutely hated it. And being touched there, I hate being touched there. That's one of the worst things. I don't like it when anyone is touching me there. So, and just the whole setting brings back a lot of trauma. I'm always doing my best to avoid hospitals, emergency care centers, clinics, doctor offices, because all of that, it carries that element of trauma from the surgery. I get those intense flashbacks that just freeze me whenever I'm in this type of setting, and it's really, really horrible. So I'm always doing my best to just steer away from places like that, or any place that would remind me of the surgery. So Thailand's definitely not a vacation spot in the future.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
When you mentioned that you told your boyfriend at the time, I don't feel like I'm actually a woman, I just feel like I'm a feminine man. What was his reaction to that, and how did that relationship function after your surgery?
He never mentioned that again. Actually, I'm not sure how he reacted to that, because I never actually had a chance to see a reaction from him. He just seemed a bit baffled by the whole thing, really. But our relationship didn't really last much after that. I think, yeah, towards the end of October, we broke up, basically.
And was that the same boyfriend who had told you previously, I want you to either get the surgery or learn to be naked in front of me? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he was also becoming, well, not aggressive, but he got very angry by the fact that for a long time after the surgery I wasn't able to have sex. And actually, when it comes to penetrative sex, I'm not able to have penetrative sex at all, because both my front and back hole are not functioning. The front hole has closed completely, and the back door is damaged from the surgery as well. So if just going to the toilet is an uncomfortable experience for me, and I bleed from that, there's just no way I could be safely penetrated anywhere. But you know what? I never actually cared about penetrative sex to begin with. I think there are better ways to be intimate with someone. Like, I'm not that interested in intercourse, to be honest. I think it's overrated anyway.
And have you been able to have relationships since then where you have been able to have those other types of intimacy?
So, for a very long time I was dating women, mostly because as soon as I detransitioned, I went back to the closet. I didn't want to think of myself as a gay man. And there was a time around 2017-ish or early 2018, late 2017, early 2018, where I sort of started dating guys, but stopped doing that very quickly. First of all, I heard some homophobic insults that made me just, go back into the closet right away. And I guess there was this sort of mentality that if I am gay, if I date guys, that somehow makes me weaker or worse. And then there was this idea that if I date men, they will treat me as a woman. And that was the last thing I wanted to be treated as when I was, in the process of detransition, when I wasn't fully living as a man for a long time, and I was finally doing that. And I was like, I want to be treated as a guy. I don't want to be treated as a girl. So I don't want to be dating guys for that reason. So, I guess I tried to fit the mold of a heterosexual male, even though I wasn't really happy with that. So I didn't have a first proper gay relationship until this last year, actually.
Okay. And so I know you've interviewed Richie on your channel. You have your YouTube channel, which I'm going to link below for people to check out. Do you have any words of advice that you want to give to people watching you, to people who are maybe detransitioners themselves or thinking about, starting a transition?
Yes. Well, first of all, I